So I'm going to talk about good and evil in romantic relationships here. Now, anything that you see with your eyes in the world are things that really can't be argued with. And if you use your eyes with successful relationships that all fall under the category of boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, or anything like that, it really has a lot to do with good and evil. Anything evil really makes the other person in the relationship angry. If there's one thing people don't like in the world, it's evil. People really just don't like it. It really just pisses people off. And, I am somebody who has had a million, women come through my life in and out. The next one, there's been so many at this point. It also pisses me off, all things evil. So if you want a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, you have to actually start to figure out how good and evil work. So it's a lot more than just I don't steal from the store and, I pay for things before walking out with an item. There's a lot of things like, kindness, compassion, helping others. You can protect yourself, but you can also protect others. And, that's how romantic relationships pretty much work. And if you use your eyes, that's what good fathers to their families do, good mothers to their family do. That's what they all do. But then you see a bunch of kids, like 100, 200 kids out at a busy bar on a Friday or Saturday night all trying to date each other. And they don't even know anything about helping others or protecting others. The problem with these kids and dating is that their will is not aligned with God's will. And once you align a human's will with God's will, which is what I teach about in Heaven's Light, it makes dating opportunities much better. Now, I'm somebody who started to get everything right in my early 30s. While there's probably nobody who gets everything right while they're young, and by the time we die, maybe nobody gets everything 100% perfectly right. You have to start as young as possible in life, and that's why my online course, Heaven's Light, is absolutely amazing for people. It costs practically no money for what you're going to get out of it and staying dedicated to it. And if you were to try and argue and say, it's no good, say it's no good, please do. And then use your eyes and tell me what you see with all things under the umbrella term of romantic relationships in life. What I taught in Heaven's Light is very good. And there's a lot of young people, there's a lot of people in the world in general, there's a lot of adults who really need Heaven's Light. Their families are all falling apart out there. It happens all the time. But young people, like if you could just get on board with what I teach in Heaven's Light, my online course now, I think you would absolutely have mastered good and evil in romantic relationships, and you would see that was the most important thing of all to begin with. You can't actually get a human to necessarily just cooperate in a relationship using good looks. You can't do it with money, although these things are all helpful. I didn't say they were bad. I said they were good. You can't do it with hard work. Won't even get there. Jeff Bezos and his wife had hundreds of billions of dollars, and they worked hard in life. Trust me, they worked real hard. And, their marriage failed. It is not how romantic relationships work. You have to actually understand how humans work, too. And that we're actually just a bunch of, creatures. Humans are creatures, and you have to attack and defend in favor of one another and help and protect one another like animals out in the wild or, kind of like cavemen. There's a lot of survival instincts that we have, and you will have pretty much mastered those if you take Heaven's Light seriously. If you want to have a good grasp on good and evil in romantic relationships, I could not recommend my online course Heaven's Light more to you. I absolutely am the biggest believer in it, and I think that pretty much everybody will be as well.